so much, and had a wonderful day, and we're going to be continually blessed by your presence. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, Mama Io. One love and wellness to everyone. Love plus art equals wellness. That is my motto. um, Precious Mother Love, Sacred Arts Curator, Master Ashep, High Priest, Master Ashep. We have discovered and perfected a modality that has been called most recently Gateway Meditation. And it helps in a lot of ways our life. But let me first tell you who I am, who he is, and how the gateway came about.
Okay.
So first off, sacred as a sacred arts curator, I over the years have begun to do things like a death doula. I'm working on being a birth doula. I also have a wellness coaching practice that started as a youth when I began learning about the gifts of healing. Since over the years, I have been doing all kinds of let's say entrepreneurship and wellness efforts. I eventually, in a sun meditation, was given this new name, which is Love plus Art equals Wellness, which is the name of my company that I perform my wellness activities in. But I also have been getting downloads in my sun meditations of things like the 5 words of supernatural wellness, which is a book on pre-order if you'd like to get a copy. And also the Gateway Meditation was a download. The name of my company was a download. I mean, I'm getting downloads from my sunrise meditations like crazy. But it started with this particular modality, Gateway Meditation, started with something that started from our youth. But first, when I get back to that, about our childhood, let me tell you about this guy here and let him tell you about himself. Master Ashep, High Priest Ashep, please tell me more about yourself and your name, the name of your company.
Okay. Well, as we reintroduce ourselves, as Jay Z Ho say, allow us to reintroduce ourselves. Starting with the high priest, that's a position and title that just recently came about, the beginning of part of this 2024 calendar year. And how that came about was my person saw an opportunity to provide its services and its experiences on this journey of what some may call ascension or light bow body, rainbow body. This journey began about 30 years ago, which ties in with the brother Salah that just spoke earlier about the 30-year journey in his discipline. And really about 30 Earth years ago was deeply embedded in the religion of Christianity. Bible taught Christian, was studying to be a preacher, a minister, was on to love the Lord, with all my heart, mind, and soul, as they say, and came across the information of 2 prophets in the Old Testament, Enoch and Elijah. The scriptures say they didn't die. They went with God in a chariot or a tornado. Ideally, they just went to the heavens with God. They didn't die. And as a youngin' back in the day, it was like, woo, as a masculine was like, man, that's all right there. You just don't die. You just go be with God. Just go be with God, right? And so that stood out, about 22 years old. That stood out. And it took about 20 Earth years to really come up with a plan on doing that. And what we come up with, as in the scripture says, be like a child again. Which really comes back down to, in essence, when you obtain the peace of God by walking with God, the peace of God comes from a place of non-judgment, not being a victim to any situation you've been through, not holding stuff or maybe being a predator, just simply having understanding and compassion for everyone who is on the journey of health and wellness, because ideally, once you begin this journey in your own shadow work, inner child work, and realize the time it takes, because we're in this time-space continuum. My person call it this 3D dream reality. The real daydream is the reality we call. The night dream is when we go, and you have those dreams. That's the night dream. From a certain perspective, what we're doing now, this talk and this Black Love Association, the holiday movement, this is a part of our daydream, collective daydream. And so again, we're just like, oh wow, how to do that? And basically it came down to what we come up with is a system that deals with the energy system, mainly the 7 major chakras, how to align them in such a way that they're all vibrating in harmony together. And because of these laws, we've combined the Kemetic tree of life, give thanks to Ra Nef Ra Men, our Set Society. We've taken the blueprint of the Kemetic tree of life and laid that over Christianity. And those things where it crossed, we kept it from Christianity. And those things that was not inside the lines, we kind of left it alone and said, that's not for this journey. So we combine Christianity and the ancient teachings of Kemet to assist us in really aligning our emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies so the physical body can really benefit from the connection that the spiritual body brings. And so that's done through a lifestyle of simply breathing, being intentional, those types of things. And so as a result of 10 years of actually implementing this, being active as this initiation, it's called the Breath of Life Training Meditation Initiation System, or the BOAT. At the same time, holding space with an organization called I Admit. As a Lama person says, okay, tell the Mother Earth, we're in a position to share my person's experiences on simply obtaining the peace of God that passes all understanding, from vibrationally, feeling, being aware, realize the feeling as you walk with that feeling, day in and day out on a consistent basis. But again, looking at how to, align your major 7 energy centers, and which 5 of the first 5 really deal with the emotion. So look at the emotional, the mental, really just diving deep into oneself energetically to assist with the alignment of those energy centers. Again, to just simply walk with God. That's the high priest. So that's what we show up with. And, our contribution to humanity, being an example. I admit, and so are you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay. So now you know who he is and you know who I am, Precious Mother Love, Master Ashep. We actually have been friends and lining up with our upward ascension into enlightenment and, all of these wellness ways. We've been friends through that period of time, 30 plus years
30
now.
plus.
So
30. Before it was like, ooh, let's go get in the church. And ooh, we're not supposed to die. Before all of that, we was out in the world doing our thing in the world, baby. So, it's history here. So you getting some history.
So we went through a lot of those classes in schools together. We've been in mystery schools together. We've been in ISE, Asara said, Taj Tariq Bey. We've taken and done breathology with Mama Ayo.
Hebrew Israelites.
Yes. And
Not the root.
Yes. There's a long list of those whom we've studied, including Abraham Hicks and Maxwell Jordan, and so on and so on. So we've been absorbing a lot of all of our, let's just say, mentors. These mentors, we've taken all the things that we think that might be beneficial and aligned ourselves with those things. So to tell you about Gateway, because gateway is a word that is being used across the board in a lot of ways and about a lot of things. So I have come to the conclusion that I think that the gateway is us engaging our third eye and learning how to stay in that third eye dimension, meaning to balance it, to be able to incorporate it in your lifestyle. And for you, like they say, walk in prayer. Well, to walk in the gateway. So the more you get used to being in the gateway, the more you see that you're in it and you can actually attend to your business. So I say that the quantum world is the cross between the spirit and the science. It's where science and spirit meet. And it allows us to identify and exhibit quantum behavior or our quantum nature. So I also think that that when the child is in the baby is in the womb, I believe that's in gateway, and I believe that our first, that's where we start hearing through the gateway. Basic, our hearing is through a gateway funnel. Let's just put it that way. We might hear what the mother's doing, but we're more in tune to the energy. We're more into the God source space. We're not walking in the physical yet. So we're in tune with the gateway. And so this puts us back into that womb position, that position of being like a child to a degree, but then also being able to balance it, because it's, you know, a lot of us, we walk in our duality, but we're not balanced with it. We're going on one side or the other. But when you walk in your duality, you are able to walk in the gateway. So there's a lot of breathing involved. There's some sacred things that we do. We set up our sacred space with your relics, whatever your copper tools, with candles, with incense. But we also ask you to pull out a bottle of water. We've been conducting our gateways on full moons. So this is so appropriate. And thank you, Mama Ayo, for inviting us. Because it's such
Well, we want to see it. Your time, you have explained it, and we
So I'm giving you the parts now.
really want to see it now.
Okay, I thought it was more about okay, so the demonstration is to come, but these are the parts, and this demonstration comes right after the parts. So we have, you program your water. Okay, so you're going to sip your water during this time. We ask you to write it out, whatever your intention is before you go into the gateway. So I'm setting the space up so that you can have a sacred space. So what you do is you place these sacred items, these relics that you want. You have your water that you've spoken the words of whatever your intent is. You've written it out so that you can have a visual view of it. And on the physical side, and later you can either burn it or put it in your wallet as a reminder. And then we also going to be tapping into our chakras, and overall, we're basically tuning into the fine details, the frequency, the vibration. We're getting ready to do something physical. During that time, we usually ask you to exercise a little bit, move around, get your body going, get the juices going. So the way that we start off is that we actually do some movement. So let me ask you to please raise your hands above your head and touch your hands together. A tall A. All right, and then just bring your hands down and shake your hands as you go down so that you can shake out the energy on your arms. Bring your hands around to the front. Yes, Ashep is instructing you to do the breathing as well. Now, I usually ask us to stand up. If you want to stay seated, that's fine. But you want to wiggle the middle. We're going to do the chakra tapping in a moment. But you want to loosen up anything that's stagnant in you. Move your energy around while you're breathing, while you're taking your slow in and slow out breath. So that was the demonstration of what I would ask you to do when you first start to exercise and loosen up the energy. So then the next step is you would speak into your water, make sure your water is energized, and then you would actually take a sip of your water. So I don't know if any of you have some water with you, but please speak into your water. I'm going to speak into myself. I'm a vessel of water. I'm 70% water. You can do that as an option, but also I'm placing my intentions on the forefront, and I'm asking myself to focus. Our deep breath also are cleansing breaths. These are breaths that are going to help to remove whatever stagnant energy that we've just moved around. The next step, or the third step, is where we get into tapping our chakras. That is where I will allow Master Ashep to begin to explain and express to you. This is the piece that he has added to it. I didn't get a chance to tell you about where the birthing breath started from, but the birthing breath was something we both learned as a child. Me at 10 years old in DC, him at 10 years old in Alabama. Something that we learned. He's 10 years younger than me. So it was a timeline difference, a location difference. But the birthing breath that we learned as a child is a very fast breath. And I say it's a birthing breath because I also call it where we're placing our seeds into the ethers, into the gateway. So the birthing part of it is and you're going to continue that for about 60 in and outs. That's about 120. So for about 3 to 5 minutes, you're going to do this fast breath. You're letting the stale energy out. You're activating your chakras while we're tapping as you're moving. So the first thing is that you start moving, then you drink you program your water and you drink it. So the third thing now, because I did kind of catch us up with where we got this first breath from that came to mind for the gateway. The second breath is one that Master Ashep helped to add some value to our gateway process.
All right, good, thanks. So the breath technique that we're going to use for this particular exercise, if you choose to, is called the breath of water. However, we're going to work our way up to the breath of water with maybe 2 preliminary breaths to see where you fit, with the technique of it, because it's a technique that you may not be familiar with. And so again, we just say wherever you're most comfortable, leave it there. And of course, the foundation is when we breathe in through our nose, mouth closed, into the nose, lower abdomen expands, and we're going to release out from the mouth. Lower abdomen, contracts. So that's the basis of the breath. So the first breath we want to do is, just to get the feeling of it, is do that same breath. This time, you're just going to drop your jaw. Mouth is closed, drop your jaw into the nose and out your mouth as such. Ready? Breathe. Okay, we're going to go a step further. The next breath, this is the actual part of this is a breath mastery technique. Got this from working with breath master Aaron Motley. It's called the master cleanse, the master breath. And this time you would take, because your mouth is already dropped, you would take the tip of your tongue and place it to the roof of your mouth and curve it back. It's maybe hard to see, but this, what the tongue would look like if it could curve back, touch the top and curve back. If it's comfortable, let's just do one breath of that just to get the feel of it. In fact, let's do 2 breaths just to get the feel of that and say, ready? Breathe. Drop the jaw, tongue flat. Curve the tongue up and back. Breathe in. Drop the jaw, flatten the tongue, exhale. Now, this is where the breath of water comes in. It is the breath mastery technique with the modification of you taking your bottom tongue and doing just the opposite. You're going to take the bottom tongue, place it to the bottom palate, and then point it back if you're able to. And so the difference in those 2 breaths, with the flattened tongue, the larynx, it drops. So you're able to get more air out. When you curve the tongue back, it pulls it up and out the way. And the same thing when you curve the tongue to the roof of the mouth, you curve the tongue up and back, it pulls the larynx forward so there's more air can enter into the body. And so when you release, and you want just as much air came in and just as much release because you're going through the mouth. A little caveat, some of you probably already know, ideally when you breathe in through the nose and release through the nose, you're more so building up your chi to, fortify to heal, do things like this. Whereas you exhale and breathe, release out to the mouth, you're more so releasing, detoxing, relaxing, that kind of thing. So again, with this breath of water, when we breathe in, we curve the tongue up and back, like with the breath mastery technique. And when we release the breath, we drop the jaw and curve the tongue down and back, and it may have an audible sound. Now, here's the caveat to this. Give thanks to our brother that shared earlier about this chakra initiation, activation. Because this breath, the breath of water, or the breath mastery technique, or just the simply releasing breath, which is the first breath my person is called releasing, just simply, or cleansing, releasing or cleansing breath. So as we're doing this, we want to tap on the energy centers. One breath per major energy center allowed us down. We have the 7 major chakras. So that's 7 breaths. And we would do 2 before we began to prep. And once we finish tapping, we'll do 2 breaths for a total of 11 breaths. Now the breaths will be done as such, and with the tapping. First this, because we know tapping like here. We're going to do tapping heart, tapping here, and tapping here, just to get the flow of the tapping.
Demo.
However, we know the root chakra, is maybe kind of challenging to tap that root chakra, which is at the base of the spine. So with that, you may either bounce lightly in your seated position, or you may perform something called the Kegel exercises, squeezing the sphincter muscle. You want to stop from using the bathroom. Hold it, can't go right now. You squeeze, that, and if you squeeze it, pulse it, it's actually pulsating and gyrating and charging that energy, because whatever you give your energy, mind to energy goes.
And breaking up blockages and allowing your flow to be more free for the energy centers. Mm-hmm. That's what we're doing when we tap. We're actually breaking up whatever blockages so that the flow can become more and more free. So.
And it's good for the men also for prostate. It's a mild way of some say milking the prostate. Just do the Kegel exercises and you're stimulating an area. So, that's a different men's workshop, but just to throw that out there because it's a little tidbit, as we say. And so with that, let us just do 3 breaths of the breath of water, or the breath mastery, or the releasing or cleansing breath as we tap the energy center. So that way we get a feel for, as we do this in conjunction with the gateway meditation. So ready, release. Always begin by releasing all the air of our lungs. Just breathe out. That's our starting point. Start from 0. Release. Curve the tongue up and back. Breathe in through the nose while tapping up. Drop the jaw. Curve. Releasing. Move the tap into the throat chakra. Curve the tongue up and back. Breathe in through the nose. Drop the jaw, curve the tongue down and back if possible, and breathe out through the mouth. Move the tap into our first eye, curve the tongue up and back, breathe in through the nose. Drop the jaw, curve the tongue down and back, and release out through the mouth. Relax the tap and breathe normal for 2 breaths, or the cleansing breath as we simply reset. Breathe in. Breathe out. Once more, breathe in. Releasing out through the mouth. There you have it. And ideally, there would be instructions as far as the energy centers, either the colors and or a mantra, affirmation, visualization to go along with them. But for the time, we're just going to go with the breath in and of itself. However, if you are familiar with any affirmations, colors, or mantras that that go along with energy centers, feel free to use them as you're tapping the energy center as you breathe and release. It's a way of at the same time tonifying and detoxifying as you release the stagnant energy by tapping and breathing out. You're also fortifying it with the intention high vibration of as you see it as you breathe in. So again, that's a little caveat on being intentional with our breath as we activate our soul strengths.
And normally when we do the gateway meditation, we put all this technique together. We do it on full moons, but we also have workshops and retreats that we have planned. So if you want for more information, we have actually put our phone numbers and contact information in the chat. But like I said, normally this gateway process, it takes time for us to go through not only the training of how this all lines up, but there's a philosophy, there's some science behind this. There are some specific details that we want you to be familiar with, because as you call all your trillions of cells in on you as your troops and put them to work, Jill Pookrum just recently said, she's saying you're never alone, you're never by yourself. You have trillions of cells in this body that you can be in control. A lot of it is on automatic, but when you call your troops to attention, you will know if you are lining up your energy properly, if your quantum, meaning the science, and your spirit are lined up well properly. That's what we're doing. We're basically lining you up energetically. We're giving you the water, the information, the emoted water. We're giving you, and so you will write down your intention. You will be reading your intention. When you're doing the breathing, we're going to have that in front of you, because each one of your chakras is going to begin to agree with you energetically as you go through. This is where we're going. This is what we're doing. And then like a rocket, we're going to blast off into the ethers, and we're going to walk like the spaceman did on the moon. We're going to take our steps into the gateway and program our energy. We're going to use all these steps, including the breath. The first and foremost thing, when you first are born, you have to take a breath before they consider you to be living. So this is our living breath, our breath to have you to be able to live in the gateway, a lifestyle that we have learned and have incorporated into what we do in our daily lives. Not the whole thing all the time, sometimes a condensed version. Sometimes we are able to do the whole thing, and when we do it, it's very powerful. And it ignites your fire and engages your energy and gives your energy direction and your focus. I mean, all these things contribute to how well, how quickly, how fast your manifestation will come about. But I'm to be very honest, I've been doing this. We've been doing it for over a year now, and it has changed my life so much, to the point where I am amazed every day by the level of things that I'm continually able to master, and of my own mastery, the science of self, this to me is like a science of myself. I am learning more and more about myself, but I'm also learning how to control my energy, how to be more in control of my life, how to be more in control of my energy and motion, which is my emotions, and how to get back on track when things go willy-nilly, because things ain't perfect all the time. But when I get off track, it don't stay off track long. It doesn't. As long as I'm able to utilize this technique or some portions of it, because I've adapted it as a part of my lifestyle, I'm really, really so happy that I took the breathology class before I formulated this technique, because I was able to use my learned technical knowledge passed down through Mama Io, as her years, 20 some, 30 some years, 50 some, I don't know, but she's the expert here. And thank God that she has been here to guide us through the process. We've shown it to her, but she has always in practice with us. So she, just like just now, I didn't get to do it. Just like just now, you just only got pieces of it. But when we sit down and we actually do the class and take the time to go through it, it gets deep. Once you get on board, it's definitely something that you would incorporate into your toolbox, and as a way to learn how to control your energy, encourage your energy, and become better focused in your life. But overall, the love that we have gotten as a result, we walk in love. We are vessels of love. You know, he called me bundle of love joy for years, because I would just be, regardless of the scenario, I would do my best to come out with a loving solution. And so we walk in love. And so this gateway is another way for us to show ourselves more self-love, but it is also a way to tune up yourself so that you become a better, more tuned, highly functional vessel of love. And that's what we are. That's what I say as precious mother love is the best technique to learn, is to how to become more and more of love and be in love with yourself, as well as sharing in love.
And once again, give thanks to Mama Aya for holding space for these number of years. As you talk about love, got a little Tahuti just spoke and said, yes, honor Mama Aya for holding the space of love, Black Love Day.
Yes.
Because we also learned that God is love.
Yes, he is.
God is love and love is God. So Black Love Day and now Black Love Month is about expressing God, the Black man style. We love the Black woman style. We God. This is how God expresses stuff to the Black man, to the Black woman. So give thanks, Mama Io, for that God, that, you know.
We give thanks.
Put love on there.
This has been such a full day. Everybody said such amazing energy. I thank you all. We've got to move on because we got 2 more presenters. But and they're in the house too, and our mother and daughter, yoginis are here, and we're excited to hear though how much these meditations, this evolving practice, has done so much in a year or so that you have introduced it. Right here, what we say in Black History Month, we talk about the past, but we always have to talk about the people who are currently making history. And you've made history in creating a whole new modality. It's a synthesis of, I see, of several techniques. And I felt a lot of energy with the,
the tapping.
That car breath. So yeah,
the water
and
breath
of course
and
tapping always energizes me.
This you, Mama Ayo. This what the
mother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We look forward to please leave your information in the chat so we know when the next session is, or the next experience, or when we can hear more about.
Well, to be very honest, March might be within your domain and your quarters. We haven't finished talking about it, but look for us at the next full moons. We'll also be doing all of the increments of the moon are vortexes and portals. So we have dates lined up for solstice, for equinox, for eclipses, for full moon, for new moon. All those are prime days for us to be able to go to the gateway and for it to be a major impact and allowing us to manifest. Yes. Yes, to burst through and break ground.
Right. Break through and go through that gate. Thank you, Asante Sana. Again, information in the chat. So people, we're gonna copy the chat. We'll have it for all of the people who have stayed on this program with us, who might want to get in touch with all of our presenters. Brother Taladin, I don't see your information here. I don't know what it is, but so we need to ask you to add your name and information to the chat. So we'll have the way in which we can get in touch with you. All right, I'm going to put it for a moment. Push it back out, bring it back in, and push it back out, and bringing it back in, and pushing it back out.
One Love and Wellness family, just wanted to let you know that we are about to finish. Just wanted to let you know, thank you for joining us. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah, appreciate it, baby. We digs you. Ooh, to the next time we connect. Ooh.
Ashe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon. Love+Art equals wellness. Precious Mother Love. Heart happy hour. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yo.
So they